Hey, Mr. Chair. Allison, we are live.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Police and Public Safety Committee meeting. Today is September 10th, 2025. On the agenda, we have a new liquor, wine, beer, and cider application for 66 KTV Incorporated, located at 911 66th Street. The premise is going to be a karaoke bar. Their hours of operation will be Monday through Sunday, 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. as listed. They will have no outdoor use. Just going over their questionnaire. They're only going to be hosting private events such as birthdays and anniversaries. Their occupancy. You listed, Mr. Park, you listed that your certificate of occupancy had 429 at a maximum, and a maximum of 380 people.
Yes. Hi, my name is Ellen. I'm filling in for Mr. Park. He had to attend the Manhattan meeting.
Okay.
Sorry. Yes, per square footage, the architect said it's 429 max, but we anticipate 380 max, including the employees and the staff and the customers.
All right. You do not have a certificate of occupancy though for this premise, correct?
Not yet, not currently, because it used to be a warehouse where we've been under construction for more than a year. That's the reason why we could not attend the community board meeting last year, because we weren't prepared. A lot of the information that were requested by the community board were not ready at that time. Now we have a floor plan, we have the permits, and we've progressed more than half of the renovation part, so that's why we're here before. But the CO, certificate of occupancy, is not ready yet, but we anticipate this TCO once we pass all the inspections.
Also, have you filed for a public assembly with that amount of people?
According to the architect, we questioned the public assembly, but we were told once we receive because it's two separate floors with two separate entrances and egress, we will have certificate of occupancy for two separate, for one for the first floor and one for the second floor. And as long as we comply within the maximum capacity, then a separate public assembly is no longer needed. If that's the case, then the CO actually decides. It works as a public assembly permit now. It's something new that the Department of Building had.
Well, I didn't know that, but if it's something new, I'm not.
It's something new.
What I am aware of is that anytime you have more than 75 people on a premise, you're required to have a
public assembly permit. Yes, right. That's what I thought. And that for the public assembly permit, you would go through the building department and with the fire department as well. But we were told the rules have changed, but we will double check again.
Yeah, please do, because I'm not aware of any changes. And like I said, anything over 75 people, you're required to have one.
I understand. So we'll get an architect or engineer's letter stating that, or building department statement saying a public assembly will not be needed once we obtain the TCO. If it's needed, we will comply.
You won't get any permits if you comply. Now, the music you're going to have is just recorded karaoke music?
It's recorded karaoke music only, and each room will be soundproofed.
So each room is soundproof?
Yes.
Now, you're saying there are about 30, how many rooms?
22, 11 on each floor.
And you're saying there's egress on each floor?
Yes.
I can see that.
You see the two
schematic of the blueprints that I see. There are 3 entrances on the main floor and exits. And what about the second floor? How does that exit?
Second floor will have 2 separate stairways.
Where are the stairways going to be?
It's on the right side. The right side diagram, the shorter diagram, is the second floor because it's slightly.
Okay, I see them now. They're interior.
Okay.
They're interior, right? The
I'm sorry?
The stairways are inside the building.
They're inside the building, yes.
Do they lead outside?
No, we don't have any outside. It's both inside.
Everything's inside. They have three
Yes.
entrances. Three means of egress.
So in case of an emergency, they have to get downstairs
Yes.
and then find the 3 doors to get out of the building.
Yes.
The stairwells lead to the 3 doors coming out of the building.
It's gonna take a lot of time.
Go ahead. May I ask a question?
Sure.
Go ahead, Ruth.
So from what I can see, the staircase on the right side is much shorter. So that also leads to the first floor.
It also leads to the first floor, yes.
And then on the first floor, those are the stairs on the right and left that lead to the outside of the building.
Yes.
So all the egresses are at the front of the building, and there are none in the back.
None in the bag at this time, no. And this
No.
was okay by the
So
building
my
department.
question is,
Yes,
you have several hundred people, if God forbid there's a fire or something, they all have to exit through the front. So did this pass, does this have the approval of the fire department?
it has the approval with the building department. And we sent the architectural seal along with the plan approved by the building department.
Do you have to have an inspection by an approval by the fire department?
Later on for the exhaust systems, yes, we will.
That's
We will
that's after everything is built.
And after everything's built and everything passes with the building department first, and then it's the fire department for the
Yeah,
exhaust.
because I mean, it's just, I would not like to be a customer on the second floor in the back. It's just my personal opinion, unless there are windows I can jump out of. It just doesn't, it seems like a safety hazard to me.
The building itself is 50 feet by 100 depth. It's not, it's about 5,000 square foot on each floor. So it's actually smaller than on average supermarket, where when you walk in, a retail supermarket will be 8,000 to 10,000 square footage, the retail area. So it's not that deep. It looks deep because all these rooms that are divided.
Is there
Okay,
a
thank
fire
you.
suppression system in the building?
I'm sorry?
A fire suppression system like a stand?
Yes, there's a sprinkler system being built. That's why it was taking very long.
Oh, so they're all putting a sprinkler system.
Yes,
You know if it's a wet or a dry?
that I don't know. I'll ask and get back to you on that one.
And there are several rooms that I see. Maybe the 300 so much. How many people does each room hold approximately?
They're all different sizes.
Yeah,
So
I've seen that.
approximately a large size room will be able to hold about 70 to 80 people.
A large size room. that many.
Yes, but there are very few large size. Each you'll
Mhm.
see about 6 to 8. When you see 2 tables, it's really meant for about 6 to 8 people.
And I know today you did provide us with a menu. I didn't really get a good look at it, and
We
we had a
submitted the
question of
menu
where the
late,
kitchen
sorry.
had been located. Know where it was located, and you did provide that. It's located near the entrance, correct?
It's located near the entrance.
Where is the bar located?
There's no bar actually. They're thinking whether the cashier will be the bar. The cashier to the liquor authority is a bar because that's where the money will be exchanged. That we will have a cashier, but there will be no service directly from the bar. It will be direct only from inside each karaoke rooms.
And this type of establishment doesn't sell by the glass, they sell by the bottle, am I correct?
No, not always.
Okay. Then, so the cashier is the mixologist, the bartender too?
Yeah,
You don't have a
we
bar? I just question.
we Asians really don't go too crazy on the Leon, we will have licensed bartenders later on. We actually joined in with the same link. That's why you'll see two Mr. Sam Parks. I'm sorry.
And your the security plan.
Yes,
What type of security plan are you having? I see that you have like sensors coming into the establishment. That's probably doing a count of how many people come in and out. Michael.
depending on the how busy, he will have at least one licensed security guard because this was already discussed. He prefers to have, we don't want in-house security because it's different. We want an unarmed security guard.
You want an armed security guard?
Because people behave. Actually, when they do see a security guard with something on their, this was discussed before. What is the best way?
Okay. The state of New York is a concealed carry, not an open carry state. You're aware of that. So then displaying a firearm and they're not a peace officer is illegal.
Understood. So if it's gonna be peace officer, then we will discuss, but it's gonna be licensed security guards at all times of the
Now,
operation.
you say you're gonna be open till 4 o'clock in the morning?
Until 4 a.m. in the morning, yes.
Well, if you're gonna be open till 4 in the morning, I would suggest having 2 security personnel. All right? I mean, that would be my thought process.
Understood.
At least 2, at least.
Okay.
Any other questions from any board members?
Elizabeth Edmonds.
Elizabeth?
Hi, I was just, I was, and I'm not sure if this is correct, but it looks like FDNY is supposed to approve layouts for karaoke bars where they have, especially where there's a second story. So I'm just wondering whether that's a process. I'm not entirely sure if that's correct, but whether that's a process that you've undertaken since you sent us the layout, which I know we've asked for, but whether, you know, they're supposed to approve seating arrangements and all of these things so that the egress isn't a problem, as I understand it, and I could be wrong about that.
And now, Elizabeth, I can email you the whole bunch of floor plans that we received from the architect, and one of them actually says PAA. I'm assuming that's the public assembly, the egress, and I can email you the entire package. I'm sure they went through what they had to go through to obtain the permits and come this far.
Yeah, I mean, I just have a slight concern about that many people with just those egress in the front. Similar to what Ruth said, it seems a little bit worrisome, especially if everybody's going to be drinking and staying up late, and there's multiple small rooms on the inside and no egress in the back. So, I think it would be helpful to find out a bit more about the fire safety. I understand you have sprinklers, but just in case, thanks.
Understood. Okay, I'll find out if there's another like outside egress stairway in the back, because we never pay attention. I physically haven't gone to the establishment. Leon, is there like a back stairway in the back?
No,
at
there's
the
no
back of
back.
the building?
No, there's
No.
no back stairway in
Okay.
the back of the building.
Okay, so all the exits will be towards the front.
Yes.
Okay, but I'll email you the entire package that we have. It's about 20 pages. Okay.
Chris, if I can, I have a question. This is a very large venue. What is the owner's background in managing such a large karaoke establishment?
Good evening.
Yeah.
My background is I just retired from the Navy. I did 20 years in the Navy. I just retired last year, July. So since I retired, I don't have anything that, we planning to try to open a business. And my skill in the Navy was that also the business that we upgrading store, Starbucks and barbershop stuff. So it's kind of business for my background. Like before to join the Navy, I also worked in a restaurant and also like for the also serving food, like drink stuff like that. Like
What kind of security do you have inside to monitor the rooms? When the room is in use, do you have a door that closes?
We have doors that closes, but each door will have a glass where we can see clearly what's happening inside, and there will be surveillance cameras installed in each rooms.
So each room has a camera that somebody monitors?
Yes.
Question on the outside of the building, I mean, we usually could acquire 20% visibility from the outside. And I'm looking at the schematic, not the schematic, but the outside has the 2 large garage doors.
Oh, no, that's because we're still on the renovation, sir. So
I understand that, I
the
understand
entire
that.
frontal will be
My
changed.
thing is, on your plans, do you plan on putting glass where those garage doors are so we can see in?
Yes.
Okay. And upstairs also, I see they have the loft area where I guess was a hoist at one time to bring in the parts.
Okay. I mean, we
So
want
I
to
don't
make
know what your plans are for that, if you're gonna wall it out or anything else.
no, it's gonna the windows will be kept.
And looking at the picture of the front, I only see 2 doorways, so you're adding another doorway with a stair.
Yes.
Right.
Liz has a question, Chris?
Yes, just a quick question. So the owner of 66 KTV, is the owner also owns the establishment 66 Club KTV at 815 66th Street?
No,
Ownership?
Liz, we're not affiliated with any of the KTVs in Brooklyn. This is his very first.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Okay.
She asked if there was an affiliation with
Yeah,
another.
sorry.
Yeah, and she said
Fair
no.
enough. Okay.
Have there been any complaints from people, neighbors, like forcing?
No, well, right now, Judy, they haven't opened. This has been a different type of business.
Yeah.
But I would say that this type of method of operation in other locations, we haven't had one this size or this
Right.
large. But we've had, some difficulty, some past crime, serious crimes
Yeah.
at some of the karaoke places that are no longer operating in the board. Not related to this. This is his
Yeah,
first venture, but this is the largest, I believe, that we've had in the board.
They're definitely gonna need more than one security guard.
I got some.
That's no problem. So we'll stipulate to at least 2, even on weekdays. And if we need more, we'll comply.
Okay,
Ruth has her hand raised. Ruth?
Ruth?
Yeah, I have a question about the time of closing. It's my understanding that this community board has been discouraging 4 AM closures for a very long time. I know it's not a residential block and it faces a park. And I was just wondering the general view on that.
Would the applicant be amicable to closing earlier than 4 o'clock in the morning? I know by state law, you can stay open till 4 o'clock in the morning. But in this community, we've been trying to get away from that. And I think since COVID, a lot of places have been closing down at 2 o'clock regardless, even if they're allowed to stay open at 4.
During the weekdays.
Crime waves have gone and usually most of the crime does happen in these, not this type of establishment, but in alcohol establishments between the hours of 2 AM and 4 AM, right? And we've had incidents in this community where we got into a tit for tat, I would say, and they still wanted to close at 4, and they did, and they had a major incident, and they are no longer in business. So, it's food for thought for you.
We don't mind closing a little early during the weekdays, but we ask that we're allowed to stay until 4 AM on Fridays and Saturdays. And I think Sundays at 2 AM is, and after a year or 2 of operation, if we can come back before the board.
We can revisit it. So on Monday and Thursday, would it be amicable to you to be 5 PM to 2 AM?
We'll start off at 2 a.m. if that's okay. We'll start off because, but you have to understand, every KTVs are different. We Asians are a little weird. I always thought it was a little weird why my
No.
parents took us to KTV when I was very little, and they sang, and it was just a different environment where we grew up. We do our birthdays there. We do our celebration there, except for the wedding. Even after the wedding, we run to the KTV. Everything is done in the KTV. If you have no place to go and you have to, kill 2 hours before the airport, then you go to the KTV, whether you're 60s or 70s. It's part of our culture. It's different. It's not a nightclub where, there are few KTVs where yes, they should not do a lot of they should not allow certain things, but it does happen. But I trust Leon will do the best. And he said, no, that's not how it should be. And we'll show that it's a different KTV. KTVs can be different.
Good, then we'll do Sunday through Thursday, 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. Friday and Saturday, 5 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's
All
fine.
right. And we can always revisit this at a later date, unless
That's okay,
there's
sir.
major incidents going on or anything like that.
Yes.
Is that fine? Okay. All right, so I'll make a motion. Any other questions before I make?
I have a question
Go ahead.
pertaining to, related to closing. Is there a last call time for ordering
Yes,
alcohol?
it's going to be an hour before. Because if we make it 30 minutes before, they're not going to get up by 4 and they're not going to leave. It's going to be an hour before the closing.
Okay,
Okay.
thank
The
you.
kitchen is also open. I have the kitchen open 5 to 3:30, so you'll be closing earlier on the kitchen, saving some money. All right, so any other questions? All right, so I'll make the motion. All right, and I'll read a stipulation and afterwards you tell me. The premise will operate as a karaoke bar. There will be no sale or consumption of alcohol on premises until the appropriate license is issued by the state liquor authority. Applicants will not serve or allow bring your own booze until their license is obtained. The owner manager will be on site during all hours of operation. The hours of operation will be Monday through Sunday.
Monday
through Thursday, 5 p.m. to
Thursday.
2 a.m. Friday and Saturday, 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. There will be no smoking permitted. There will be no outdoor use. The doors and windows shall remain closed with any amplified music. Background recorded indoor music sound levels will remain below the level permitted by the New York City Noise Code. Once the state liquor authority license is obtained, the community board may call upon the applicant to address any concerns that may arise. There will be at least 20% visibility view in the establishment at eye level. The applicant agrees that should it change its method of operation, it will give notice and meet with the community board committee at least 45 days in advance of any such change. At least 2 licensed and bonded security guards will be used at all times.
Yes.
Jonathan, second. All those in favor?
Yeah,
Any opposed? 2 opposed. Motion carries.
okay. So our board meeting is going to be this upcoming Monday at 7 o'clock at the Knights of Columbus. You're welcome to attend in the event the board has any questions for you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Salah, do you have a question or are you just voting yes? Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I think he was voting yes.
Just to give some updates, that was the only item on our agenda. But I'm going to give some updates that happened over the summer. All right. The Angel Shots Initiative that was started by the 6th Precinct Community Council by Eileen Sacco, the president. Her and myself went out to local bars, handing out the flyers and having them sign the things that they would abide by. So we were pretty successful in that. So if you go into a bathroom of an establishment, see if there's a poster there. Let us know if it's not, we'll send them a new one. Also, cannabis shops. Right now, Bay Ridge has 3 licensed shops. One is across the street from the community board called Flintstones. The other one is Kyla Bliss, and the third one is High Dankery. Since they started issuing the licenses, they came up recently that they were not within compliance of the law of the 500-foot rule in proximity to schools in issuing the proximities and licenses to some establishments, one being in the area here. What had happened was the way they interpreted the law was that the measurement for the 500-foot rule of the school would be from entrance of the school, not an emergency exit, from the front entrance to the front entrance of the building and on the same road. Well, the law never said that. All right, now I had questioned it back in June of 2024, and they basically referred me to their rules and regulations. Come to find out, they have not been following the law. New people came in and did an audit, and only one establishment is not in compliance, and I don't know how they're going to deal with it. But I did the measurements. Kyla Bliss is within 450 feet of the property line of Adelphi. So I don't know how they're going to handle that, whether they're going to grandfather them in. But I can see a lot of lawsuits about this because there was about 110, approximately 110 locations throughout the state that this looked at. And they were sending notices out, emails out to these establishments, letting them know that they were not in compliance with the law, even though they, the Office of Cannabis Management, were the ones issuing the licenses. Another thing that happened over the summer, Muscles and More had to change a corporate change. There was nothing really serious with that. And the 6A precinct has started sending out Q teams, they call quality of life teams. And we've had these in the past. I was a police officer years ago. And it's nothing new, but it's a new initiative today. And the quality of life teams basically go after the 311 calls. And they're going to be working day tours, and usually day tours in 4 to 12s. They have the evening tours. And it involves parking, bicycles. They're issuing summonses. In fact, I read a newspaper article recently that there was a lot of pushback, that a lot of bicycles were getting summonses and e-bikes were getting summonses, and that everybody's picking on the bicycle world. But they're not in compliance with the laws and regulations, and they should be. And that's basically all I had that was going on this summer. Anybody have anything else?
Any update on the old lock yard?
Not that I know of.
No, we do.
Do you have to move that? Computer. Oh, wait. Something is.
That's odd. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, so as far as the old lock yard, Bodega NYC, they did apply for a temporary license. They had a hearing, but they have not been issued a temporary license, and they are scheduled for a full, they are not yet scheduled for a full board meeting. We do check regularly. The next board meeting, they're not on the agenda, so we'll keep you posted.
Okay.
We'll send a notice out once they're scheduled.
I don't know if there's been any activity there. Any complaints
No.
or activity? No. All right.
I've never seen anybody coming in there. I don't know.
I don't know. That's gonna hurt. All right. Any other questions from anyone? No? No?
Okay,
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, Jonathan made a motion. Okay,
Yeah, all right.
very good. All right, well, good to see you.
Right.
Good night.
Bye-bye.